mind your telling. That's marvelous.
Does he not?
No movement. Billions and billions of miles.
For that.
Here's Johnny.
That was very good. Nice that you got him well trained. Get a whip and a chair out here. Beg your pardon? That's all right, go ahead. Do I want more? You feel it? Oh, come on. Thanks, Mom. You know, I'm just like the Cubs. I'm on top now, but can I go the distance? Warning. This monologue may be too intense for teenagers. I don't know, I just threw that in. Wish I hadn't. I'll get cooking. We've got plenty of time. Sometimes I come out and I go too fast.
Yes.
And the jokes are by before you know it. I don't have much exciting to talk about today. Came to work today, found a pair of Gucci loafers in my office. It was Fred and Peter, our producers.
Some of these people came from out of town.
Sometimes I wonder about Fred and Peter. I said to Peter today, I said, who's on the show tonight? He said, I don't know, I didn't get my TV guide. He's the producer. A lot of you I know are from out of town, and I like to plug Burbank occasionally, because it's a nice community, and we have some nice people who live out here. I've mentioned our most famous celebrity is Dr. Leopold Fechner, the famous inventor. We have another. This is also the home of Philo Sykes. Let me tell you what, Mr. He is the man who invented the crosswalk button that's not hooked up to anything. Do you know what I'm talking about when you go to those intersections where it says, press the crosswalk button, and you press it? Nothing happens until the lights change. But people think they're doing something. Philo Sykes invented that. It's hooked up to nothing. You just stand there. And by the way, if you're going to spend any time in Burbank, I suggest you pick up the Burbank Chamber of Commerce public service pamphlet. I have a new one called How to Drive Over Freeway Reflector Studs Without Becoming Emotionally Involved. And I hope if you're on vacation you enjoy Los Angeles, but you must understand, wherever you come from, Los Angeles lives, they live to a different drummer out here. Things are different. You just have to accept them. And when you come right down to it, there's no real reason why a dog should not wear sunglasses. Once you accept that, you'll be very comfortable out here. I feel good. My luck is changing. I hit the jackpot today. Put a quarter in one of those newsstand machines on the, and it actually opened. I don't know if you saw this headline in the paper today. The Surgeon General has announced that smoking after sex can be harmful to your health. Absolutely. Especially if you're not at home with your wife. That's very hazardous to your health. We've got an exciting show. Later on, the graduating class of West Point will be out here and tell us that they hated their hats anyway. At the end of the ceremony, they all take off their hats and they throw them up in the air. That's... Ooh. Anyway, tonight, Mr. John Denver is with us. We have a man, a guy who will absolutely kill you. He is one of the best jugglers I have ever seen. He does unique things. Michael Davis is here. So thank you for coming. We'll be back in a couple of seconds. Oh. I thank you. Oh, you're nice.
You folks here in the studio are certainly in the right mood for our first guest. The all-knowing, all-seeing, famous visitor from the East, famous seer, sage, soothsayer, and former javelin catcher at the 1980 Olympics, Karnak the Magnificent. Oh, great soothsayer. Welcome, welcome. I hold in my hands the envelopes. A child of 4 could see these envelopes are hermetically sealed. They've been kept in a mayonnaise jar in Funkenwagel's porch since noon today. No one knows the contents of these envelopes but you. In your divine and borderline mystical way will ascertain the answers to the question, having never before heard the answer.
If you have left me time to do it, yes. Your part's getting longer.
I thought there was a lot of time left over from the monologue.
May the waters of the Kalahari back up into your shorts.
Envelope number 1. Hermetically sealed.
I will divine the answer to the question, having never before seen the question.
As I explained.
Larry, Moe, and Curly.
Larry, Moe, and Curly.
Who stands a better chance than Walter, Gary, and Jesse? Interest rates and Elizabeth Taylor's chin. Name 2 things that will double by the end of the year. The planet Earth.
The planet Earth.
What's the next place you'd like to see the Russians pull out of? Russians, Cubans, and Humphrey Bogart. Who won't be visiting Disneyland this summer? Turning on Karnak. Chattanooga Choo-Choo. What do you do with a Chattanooga steak? You get gang stuck at a porcupine orgy. Bloopers and practical jokes.
Bloopers and practical jokes.
Sure. Describe a typical day in Congress. Trivial Pursuit. What do you call measuring the inseam of a midget? The Memorial Day weekend, a tequila hangover, and a pet goldfish. What lasts 3 days? Karnak headed into a New Delhi dumper. 16 candles.
16 candles.
Right.
Candles. Was that 16 candles?
16 candles. What's on one slice of President Reagan's birthday cake? 16 candles. Peter Uberoff. What sound does a Japanese baseball player make when the ball hits him below the belt? Peter Uberoff. Okay. The Temple of Doom. Describe a restroom that runs out of toilet paper.
I hold in my hand the last envelope.
May every gift your daughter receive at graduation require an antibiotic shot. Birdie, Benji, and Alexis Carrington. Name a putt, a mutt, and a slut. Karnak, your sins all a bit.
Karnak, the Magnum. The Tonight Show will be right back right after these messages.
First guest, you all know, he's an internationally acclaimed singer and songwriter who is really undertaken rather an ambitious American tour. He's going to appear in more than 50 cities in this country. And for those of you in Los Angeles, tomorrow night at the Greek Theater, he'll be appearing, and also Saturday night, the 26th. Great pleasure to have him back. Would you welcome John Denver?
Thank you. Oh, lay me down in forest lawn in a silver casket. Put golden flowers over my head in a silver basket. Let the drum and bugle corps play taps while cannons roar. And 16 liveried employees sell souvenirs from the funeral store. I want to go simply when I go. They'll give me a simple funeral there, I know. With 100 strolling strings and topless dancers with golden wings. Oh, take me when I'm gone to Forest Lawn. Oh, lay me down in Forest Lawn, they understand there. They have a heavenly choir and a military band there. Just put me in their care, I'll find my comfort there. With 16 planes and a last salute, they'll drop across in a parachute. I want to go simply when I go. They'll give me a simple funeral there, I know. With a casket lined in fleece and sparkling flowers and zibbacies. Take me when I'm gone to Forest Lawn. Oh, come, 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 come to the church in the wildwood. Kindly leave a contribution in the pail. Be as simple and as trusting as a child would, and we'll sell you the church in the dale. To find a simple resting place is my desire. To lay me down with a smiling face comes a little bit higher. My likeness cast in brass will stand in plastic grass, while hidden weights and springs tip its hat to the mourners filing past. I want to go simply when I go. They'll give me a simple funeral there, I know. I'll lie beneath the sand with piped-in tapes of Billy Graham. Oh, take me when I'm gone to Forest Lawn. Rock of Ages, cleft for me, for a slightly higher fee. Oh, take me when I'm gone to Forest Lawn. Yeah.
I'm going to Forest Lawn. Our neighbor across the street.
Yeah, thanks.
That's funny. That is yours, obviously.
No, that was written by Tom Paxton,
Was it?
as a matter of fact, something we used to do back when I was with the Mitchell Trio. We did a lot of satirical material.
It's a funny song. For the people around the rest of the country who don't know it, Forest Lawn is our neighbor. Out here at NBC, it's right across the street over here, which comes in handy for some of the shows here. Shouldn't say that. Did you ever have people come up after you've done that song saying, I don't think that death is a fitting subject for humor? I used to do a routine about that when I do concerts. Because I've always done jokes about it because I think it kind of distances you a little bit from it. So you joke about it.
Yeah.
Anybody come to you and say, well, I don't think that's...
No, not with that song. We used to have some problems with some of the songs the Mitchell Trio did, where people would come back a little bit upset. But that one was always pretty funny.
Yeah, I like that. Did you ever think about... Have you made your final arrangements? I don't know why I'm getting into this, but I'm always intrigued by it. Because I see these things now pre-planned, or what do they call it? It sounds very nice. They never mention death. Where everything is taken care of. You take care of it beforehand.
No, I hope that they burn me and take my ashes and scatter them over this little valley that's in my backyard back in the Rocky Mountains, and all my friends have a real big party.
That's the way to do it. Have a real blowout. Every big, get a little smash.
Yeah.
Tell stories about you.
Tell terrible stories about me. Some good ones, too, I hope.
Yeah. I'm going to save a lot of money. I'm just going to get in a big, hefty bag and have somebody put me out on the curb, and come Thursday, it's the city's problem, you know. Simple, dignified. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Good to see you again. I mentioned before you came out here, you're taking a rather ambitious tour. 50 cities in the country, over 50?
Well, yeah, that's a good one. When I was a little bit younger, I did one once. We did 125 concerts in 100 cities, and I don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah, that takes a lot out of you, doesn't it?
Yes, sir, it does.
Yeah, and you open here tomorrow at the Greek
Theater.
and then Saturday night.
Yep.
We have a mutual love, as Ed does too, flying. You have got more hours than I have. You are licensed
Yes, sir.
jet pilot and so forth.
Yep.
Tell me about the biplane you have. That's fascinating.
So I have a 1931 Waco.
That's a biplane, two-seater?
Two-seater, open cockpit, and it's the sexiest airplane you've ever seen. And it's like, it's an old tail dragger, and you can just kind of cruise along about 100 miles an hour and wave at people on the tractor down there, and there's somebody, caught anything? And it's great.
That's real flying. That's real flying, isn't it?
I love it. Land in a field over here someplace and pull your camp set out of the back end.
Do you go out and put the gum under the wing like Spencer Tracy used to do?
I haven't done that
for
yet.
For good luck? I don't know. I always liked that. They'd go out and say, what are you doing? That's for good luck, Joe. They take it up and the plane falls apart. I don't know. Have you ever had a near... anything
the closest thing that happened for me, I was doing a television show with the Muppets. I had all the Muppets up in the Rocky Mountains on a camping trip. And this one thing we were doing together, I took Rolf the dog for a biplane. He had hiccups. And I said, Rolf, I can get rid of these hiccups for you. And so we did a whole thing where I went and did some acrobatics. And coming back from this one shoot, we were about 5 miles from the airport out over Buttermilk. And I pulled the engine back and lost the engine.
Just cut out.
Well, it was stuck and idle. The rod that goes up to the engine to the throttle had broken at idle. So it was an idle. I couldn't do anything about it, and I called the airport. I had an emergency landing, and they said, pick a runway, and there's only one in Aspen. I don't know why they said that.
That was a good one to pick, yeah.
Well, yeah. So I came in and landed it, and taxied to a stop over here on the side of the runway, got out, and got very excited.
Yeah, that's you just glided it in.
Well, yeah, I had no problem and was no panic or anything, just getting it in. But afterwards, that's when it all hit me. Boy, I could hardly walk.
I had a wonderful landing once when I was learning to fly, and I just got my solo license, and I took my 3 sons up to show off.
Oh, boy.
And I landed at Teterboro, New Jersey, a little Cessna 172. And a crosswind came up across the runway, and I wasn't really used to that. And rather than kind of putting a little more power on, I just started to drift off the runway. And there's grass there. And they have these runway lights, you know. And all I heard,
Ooh.
And cleanly, like a saber saw, just took... Now I'm sitting in the grass. I turn off the engine, and you see that little yellow truck come out. The Port Authority pulls up beside the plane, looks up and says, "Having any problems?" And you just think. And I said, well, the boys had never experienced a grass landing. What can you do? But you feel so foolish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you're in for some surprises now. Michael Davis has been with us before. He's a juggler with an oddball sense of humor and very skillful, and he has been in Sugar Babies for the past 3 years, and he absolutely devastates the audiences. He's about to begin a 14-week tour with Julio Iglesias. Would you welcome, please, Michael Davis. Michael?
Thank you. I'd like to show you something unusual, strange, different. That's unusual. It's extremely dangerous. If I were to swallow this ball, it would hurt. Twice. Let me explain the rest of this trick. What I've learned to do is to spit this ball high into the air and catch it with my mouth. Now you may wonder, why will a man learn to spit the ball high into the air and catch it with his mouth? I don't know. But why would anyone want to watch? Kind of windy in here. You don't know where I've been. Wash it off because it gets disgusting. And now it's time for the even more unusual. I'll get it. Strange diseases are transmitted. Gotta be careful with these. Let's try this one.
Thank you, Michael.
Does he not?
No more. Billions and billions of miles.
for that.